watch out for dummies. Especially that way that clutch is, man. You can't do anything quickly. So it's pretty rich a lot of places right now. But, you know, hopefully I don't need to say that we'd always rather be rich than lean.
Yeah. So you want to give everybody a quick little breakdown of where we're at with this car. Scott spent 3 years on this build, and the first time it started was a few days ago.
Yeah, I guess they brought it to me. It had run just a couple times and only very briefly on a base map. I guess enough for them to sync the ignition timing, and that's about all that was done to it. So brought it in, and I mean, when I started it, Scott was like, "Oh yeah, this is the longest it's run right now," and I was like, "Oh, okay, so this is fresh, like." Yeah. All right. So as we moved quickly to, at least at idle, we had pretty good air fuel ratios, you know, appropriate for break-in, and it went pretty kindly through the break-in process. Had to make a few changes in the tune right away, and fix some idle and some idle airflow issues, and it's pretty much driving like a normal car right now, aside from AFRs being on the real ridge side, lots of places, like I said.
And the point of all this is Scott has a lot of money into this car, and a lot of people have a lot of labor, so we're approaching this very cautiously. We're not out here ripping on it.
Okay, I'm gonna get into just a little bit of boost, a little bit of power here.
Man, this thing sounds good. So on that pull, what did we do?
360 and 385.
360 and 385 already?
I was definitely a lot harder on the throttle that time.
Yeah.
It looked perfect. This AEM Infinity, dude, is so good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I hesitate to screw with AEM V1s nowadays.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start to hesitate to screw with any AEM other than Infinity, because oh my god, it makes life so much easier, dude.
Yeah.
They have the logging built in to the main interface, which that was a big problem with the V2 stuff. Like, there's a way you can get that working, but I just have to figure it out. Like, not on every car every time. Like it's spending too much time.
Yep.
This, they made it pretty easy, and I still wouldn't call it like intuitive or anything, but
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Spark plugs.
Say that one more time.
The motor, I'm Achilles fans, but not only is it a stroker with custom cams, whatever, but it also has twin spark plugs. So there's 12 spark plugs on this 6-cylinder. Yeah. There's one at each edge of the combustion chamber, so there's kind of like, not to say leading and trailing like an RX-7, because they're firing at the same moment, but lets you get a more complete combustion, because the spark plug is not based in the middle of the combustion chamber like a lot of motors is.
Yeah,
so you got kind of one on the front and one on the back.
Wow.
Toyota coil pack right there. So I recognize it from a TC or a 3S or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the bottom of the car to get the spark plugs out. That's crazy.
Because there's 3 up top, and then there's 3 kind of below. Nothing wrong with that. I can't really tell where the timing strap is occurring though. That'd be nice to see. Or maybe it's right there. Yeah, I guess it's right there. So we definitely got some more. As I know, we got some more timing that we can add to it. The gap looks pretty large. I don't know if that's going to become an issue or not, but it might be something if I start getting some boost problems. Like the gap looks pretty big.
Yeah.
Hopefully with 12 spark plugs and individual coil packs, though, it'll be enough. It almost looks like somebody opened the gap up, even from. It looks like it's got an upward angle to it almost. Yeah, that plug looks good. I'm gonna check one of the
other
top side plugs on the other side, and for consistency, and see that it looks similar.
Okay. All right. So Ethan checked all the plugs. They checked out. We're gonna make another couple pulls real quick.
So yeah, I mean, my timing is low. My knock sensor says that we are not getting anything even close to knock, and my spark plug also says she's happy. There's room to add ignition timing.
Yeah.
No sign of any detonation. No sign of any leanness.
Which means we're already there. We're gonna keep climbing.
That is still less than half throttle right now.
Yeah. And Ethan double checked that if the throttle reading was right, and it's correct.
You know, I was going, surely that's not correct. Like, I had to be in it more than that. You know?
Yeah. All right, you want to say that again?
That was 42% throttle. So now I'm gonna quit being a little girl about it.
Yeah, quit being a little girl about it.
It's checking good, like three runs back to back at that level. It's being consistent. So yeah, I think I'm good to get on a little bit harder.
Okay, cool. And this is the power it did already, and that's just 40% throttle. Stop being a little girl about it.
Not say anything great about it.
Went up again. 371, 375. Really close matching torque and horsepower.
But I only got on the throttle 5% more than
Weenie.
But here we go. Now I have the right stuff on the screen. The green line and the white line are my lambda target and my lambda actual. So you can see that our target, our actual is following, with the exception of right here, from basically from like 3,000 RPMs on, lambda actual is directly following our target. So we are on point.
Yeah, that's great. All right, now stop being a weenie and give us some baits.
So, just to go back one moment, I want to touch on that, because I don't want to go up in power, up on boost, or try to really get a number until my lambda target and actual are matching. Like that needs to be the, and right now that's happening with a little bit of trim adjustment allowed. Once I feel comfortable that I'm really good on it, I will turn off the feedback completely, make sure that the car can do a run with no feedback at all and still hit exactly where it needs to be at. That's it.
There?
Yep, sure did. 414 foot-pounds of torque. That was 14 PSI right there, and I had to cut at 14 PSI.
Yeah.
But my lambda target is still right there with my lambda actual, so I'm comfortable to raise the cut up and go at it again.
Okay. 19.
On the last pull, we hit boost cut of 15 pounds. On that pull, we only hit 12 pounds. But we did more power. Similar throttle angle. Not adding up.
Maybe another pull?
I need to check some boost couplers maybe or something.
Yeah, maybe give it a once over real quick. Make sure everything's good.
Yeah, because that doesn't make much sense. Why did boost go down? I'm happy with the power, but boost shouldn't have gone down.
Yeah. Cracked a smile. Let's see what it is.
That was limiter right there. I still didn't hit full throttle, but geez, that's some good numbers right there. It sounded pretty rowdy. Dang.
Not bad. It's already really close to your original goal.
I mean, shit. Yeah, I was thinking 450 or so. I didn't know because it's not a GTX turbo. It's an old school, like not even an R turbo. It's just a GT35.
Yeah.
But it is a legit Garrett. The motor is very nicely built. Those cams must be spec'd really correctly. Like everything motor-wise is working very correctly.
Yeah.
What's boost at?
I think it's about 14 pounds.
14 pounds that time?
Target and actual Lambda are following each other exactly all the way out.
Great.
That was 14 pounds of boost.
Okay. 14 point
So this is what it does on the gate. Like I guess I did it on the gate. Then this is the gate with the boost controller hooked up but not active.
Okay.
And so that will be his tamest power setting. That 434 and 417 torque. I think that was like 13, 14 pounds.
Yeah.
So then now we're going to do a higher boost setting of, hopefully we'll get up in that 500 horsepower range.
Yep. And why don't you give everybody a little backstory of the stuff that we haven't filmed that's happened with the car.
Since we ended the other day, I stayed a little bit after that. We had boost was dropping right after you left, I think.
Yep.
And so we had been doing a nice progression of moving up in the power, moving up in the power. I was not even going full throttle because I was just working it up, seeing that the boost kept, going up. And we had it on, we had even redone the vacuum line to where it was a single vacuum line, straight from a boost source straight to the side port of the wastegate. And with that spring in there, which was a 0.8 bar spring in the wastegate, it would not, we just kept hitting this boost cut 19 pounds. Excuse me, we did have the manifold bolts come loose where the turbo goes at. That's when we had the boost go down. I fixed that problem, then we reattacked, then I was hitting the boost cut over and over.
Okay.
So yesterday morning, I took the wastegate off. We verified that we do in fact have the 0.8 bar spring inside the gate, but yet it was hitting almost like double that.
Yeah.
So I changed the spring out to about half that spring. And then we made some runs yesterday where it was hitting just like 7.5, 8 pounds of boost.
Yeah.
That was still with the single line hooked up, no boost controller hooked up or active. As soon as I hooked up the boost controller, the boost went up to the 13, 14 pounds that netted us those numbers.
Okay.
But we did have, we did make some high boost pulls yesterday. We did some better numbers than this.
Yep.
And it's a very fine line, it seems, with the boost control that like 10% duty cycle, it's good, and it does that, and it provides no extra boost.
Yeah.
And at like 12% duty cycle, it's bam, boost cut, boost cut, boost cut. So I think that we may have to really get the ultimate power out of this car, we may have to still change something else back there. But what we're going to do right now is try to just end on a good, happy number for him to go take it and start enjoying it.
Yep.
We can revisit with either a different wastegate or a different manifold design, because we definitely we definitely have creep. Boost creep is coming in regardless of the spring. And I think that has to do with the motor flow. You know, it's 3.4 liters, and we're asking 3.4 liters to be vented through that one gate that's on a long arm. It's like 18, 20 inches away from the merge collector of the turbo manifold. Yeah. And that creates some problems to where, you know, even if you have a 7-pound spring in the gate, well, the pressure takes so long to get there that maybe it holds 7 pounds for up to 4,000 RPMs, and then you just see it go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and hopefully you have enough fuel and stuff or boost cut to deal with that at that moment. That's why you got to be very careful and have those boost cuts and kind of build a wall of fuel and build a valley of timing and everything you can do to especially when you have, I mean, this is exactly the scenario you do not want with a $40,000 motor. Because that was 18 pounds of boost or so. So it looks like probably because of the stroker motor, he's going to do a little bit more torque than the other guys with this similar turbo kit. Yeah. Maybe same power, a little bit more torque. Other cars that I've seen had more power than torque, but I guess the way this one's set up, that makes sense. Yeah, well, I think this thing's going to be a great setup. Yeah, that's going to make it really fun. That's got some smoothing on it. It's over 500 foot-pounds of torque in the wheels right there. Yeah. Well, I consider this a success. I mean, we were going to run into these issues with a brand new car like this. Oh, yeah. You know, for sure. All in all, for, given that it was like a 3-year, you know, motor build and all that, like, I mean, we've had pretty minimal problems. Standalone, break in, do the tune, had some suspension stuff go wonky on us. Yep. Had the turbo come loose. Have kind of been handicapped by having the wastegate and manifold designed the way that it is. That's cost some extra time and extra effort and extra brain power, but that's pretty par for the course. Pretty standard. Every car's got to take a little piece of your soul. Yep. Definitely, we may revisit with this down the road. Hopefully, E85 and and a lot more power. Yeah, but he's got. I think it's time for him to enjoy the car right now because it's been like a 3-year process. Exactly. Well, Scott, I hope you enjoy this car. Me and Ethan are done with it. We're ready to get it off the dyno and out of the shop and on to the next project. All right, we'll see y'all next episode.